All right, Kareem, Shaq, Dwight, AD, all top-drafted big men who ended up in purple and gold, and now Deandre Ayton joins that list. Ayton was introduced with the Lakers yesterday. Let's take a listen.
I feel like a video game. Like somebody set it up. I think somebody set this up. But like honestly, it's an opportunity that I won't take for granted. You know, Luka's a once-in-a-generation player, and I'm happy to be his teammate. Hearing how much shape he's been in, he's super ripped, and I'm finally glad to be on his side. You know, while he's doing all of that. It's a different type of drive that I've been wanting to express for a long time, and I think this is the perfect timing. You know, here in the purple and gold, and it's a platform that I cannot run from. You know, I can show what I really am, and just be around some greats to really emphasize that for me as well. And you know, yeah, it is a lot of fuel in me, you know, to prove the whole world wrong.
That suit game was strong yesterday.
It was.
Deandre Ayton, wasn't it? All right, lucky for us, we also have a former #1 overall pick here to take a look at what's going on in LA with the Lakers, Chiney Ogwumike. So, Chiney, how do you see Ayton kind of rounding out with the Lakers?
Let me talk nerdy to you. The Lakers have their long-awaited center at the center position. And as we focus on him here, because I want you guys to see, this is the impact this man will have. He actually led the NBA as a screener in points per pick and roll. So if he sets a screen, he actually generates the most points. But as we go to the tape, I'll show you why he's such a tremendous lob threat. It starts with his angles on screens, and it actually starts with his hands as well. Let's go back to when he was with the Suns. This is with one of the greatest point guards of all time. Sets a solid screen. Now you have 2, 3 people attached. Look at his arm. He's like, hey, lead the pass here, lob threat. You guys remember that alley-oop. But now fast forward to his time with the Trailblazers. I love how he adjusts his positioning on screens that allows guards to snake. Solid screen right here. He's very patient, methodical with how he cuts to the basket. And then again, look at the arm, the extension. There he goes. He leads his passers. So it's simple baskets for him. And if you think about the numbers, this is the type of offense that the Lakers want to hold down. Ayton actually if you think, well, let's get our graphic up here. I'm not sure if we have the graphic. But if you think about Luka Doncic and LeBron James, Luka Doncic, here it is. He's second in the NBA since he entered the league when it comes to points off of lobs, generating those lobs and those assists. And then also LeBron James is 5th in that category. So if there's one player that is perfectly tailored to be the guy that they need, especially with these 2 stars offensively, these guys, future Hall of Famers, it's Deandre Ayton. But he will have to bring his A game, Ayton and his A game.
All right, Chiney, awesome stuff as always. Let's welcome in ESPN NBA reporter covering the Los Angeles Lakers, our guy Dave McMenamin. So, Dave, we've seen Deandre Ayton go from franchise cornerstone as the #1 pick to somewhat relative obscurity in Portland. What are you hearing or assessing about his fit with the Lakers?
Yeah, Deandre said it, George, at his introductory press conference. He said when you're not on a winner in this league, you're forgotten about. And certainly this is an opportunity for Deandre to reestablish who he was, the promise of being that #1 pick who was a key cog on a Phoenix Suns team that was 2 wins away from the championship, on a Suns team that followed up that season by winning 64 games and getting the #1 overall seed in the NBA. Obviously, the Suns gave up on that player for a variety of reasons, and over the last couple of years, only 57 wins combined with the Blazers in his time there in Portland. He sees this as a chance to get back on the trajectory of being someone who's known for the 16 points, almost 60% from the field, 10 rebounds a game. And for the Lakers, they see this as a great opportunity because he fits into their cap space they had available, only about $8.5 million contract, and they hold on to their expiring contracts. They hold on to their 2031 first-round pick. They hold on to Dalton Connect. That means they can continue to get this team better, whether that be through the rest of the offseason or leading up to the trade deadline in January and February, because, again, this is about trying to get the most out of this group and turn them into contender.
Dave, what else stood out to you from that press conference yesterday?
Well, it was not just Deandre Ayton coming and joining the Lakers. It was Jake LaRavia. And several instances, both of those guys mentioned LeBron and Luka. it was almost a given, certainly a decided factor that those guys are going to be on the team next year. And I understand that LeBron James' agent, Rich Paul, gave a statement to Shams Charania when he opted into his deal for next year, basically saying that he's going to be monitoring every move that the Lakers make and wants to play for a championship contender for the rest of his days in the NBA. And I understand that Luka Doncic has a contract decision come August 2nd when the Lakers can offer a massive extension and put it on his plate. But these guys, when they were surveying the market, and they both had other options out there, they're joining the Lakers under the assumption, under the given decision that both those guys are going to be on the team. And I think we need to start thinking about the 25-26 Lakers in the same manner, that we're going to be looking at a group that has the same core as last year with LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves with some new faces around them.
What needs to happen for LA to kind of take that next step?
The first step is to make sure LeBron James is cool.
That's fair.
Okay, his social media has been subtweeting and a little angst, I guess.
Welcome home hat.
Welcome hat. He's in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Proper attire.
Golf. A lot of golf.
A lot of golf.
Yeah.
Let's just make sure he's cool. But I also think they need some more perimeter defense. They lost, obviously, Dorian Finney-Smith. That was somebody they went out and traded for last season. And we have Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves as your starting backcourt. You need some help on the perimeter defensively. This league is a long, athletic league, and LeBron was in that defensive role last year. He was like the middle linebacker, I guess. He was almost playing center a lot of the times. I don't think he's going to be in that role now that they have Deandre Ayton, but they still need some more athletes on the perimeter.
And that sprinkles over to pace. I think this is a league that's dictated. We saw in NBA finals that were on both ends, offensively and defensively. The pace is what dictated those types of matchups. So I think if finding the way to compete, especially with their young talent, surrounded by Luka, who knows he likes to walk it up, and LeBron, who's more methodical, figuring out that offense. We have 1 year under the belt of JJ Redick. I think he's going to, we all know he's going to dive into it. He's going to dive into the paint. He's been there.
Yeah.
But I do think that this is going to be, we already had the big trade. People acclimated. We got enough on tape. Now let's see how we can actually compete now that we filled the biggest hole.
Yeah, I just texted with two people in the Western Conference, one league personnel guy and one coach. And they're split. One person said, bad move. Because they said, look, Ayton, the time when they went to the finals, which is a long time ago in Phoenix, it's like almost
2021,
right? Yeah. That was the deepest paint shots we saw Ayton do in his career. And since then, now he's more like a guy that just kind of floats, pick and pop, things like that. Yep. He said all the right things yesterday in the press conference, but where will he be, basically in February? How will LeBron feel about him? Will he be that engaged all the time? Will they light a fire under him? Yeah. And the thing is, if, as this one person said, if he's going to have those type of deep paint shots, well, then Luka can work with that. Luka will make him look good. As one other person said, though, given the options, this was a great pickup for the Lakers because they needed a big. But the whole thing is, where will J.J. Redick be and how will he feel? Who will he finish with? Is he going to trust Deandre Ayton in those times when Ayton tends to float sometimes? Yeah,
well, look, on my radio show here on ESPN LA, going to shameless plug there, Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN, we had Jason Quick on of The Athletic, who wrote a recent story about some of the issues that went on with Deandre Ayton in Portland. And talent has never been the question with him. It's desire that's been the question.
I mean, Anthony Davis, one of the best rebounders in the game, one of the best defensive bigs in the game. And he's in Dallas now. Like Deandre, those are big shoes to fill. He's not going to fill those shoes on those ends of the court, but he's got to do better at rebounding, rolling hard to the basket, and playing some defense back on that back line.